Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Fest exclusives, Valkyrie Ciel, Zeus Giga, and Athena Non, along with advice for the Monster Exchange system. So, as with this Godfest debut, the Player's Choice Godfest debut, we actually have now 3 brand new 7-star Godfest exclusives. And while for the most part, having new 7-star Godfest exclusives can feel kind of annoying or frustrating because the average player won't be able to roll them, Gung-Ho is being exceptionally generous in that we are all being given a special appreciation medal, which we can utilize in the Monster Exchange system to acquire one of these 3 cards completely for free. So this is a great opportunity for players to actually acquire something valuable for their monster box. It definitely helps beginner accounts the most because a couple of these cards are actually phenomenally strong leaders for players just starting out because they have gentle team building restrictions and they will basically be able to clear almost all the early game content possible at this point in time. So if you are planning to roll in the Player's Choice Godfest, I strongly encourage you not to actually Monster Exchange now and only Monster Exchange after you have finished rolling, because you don't want to get dupes to these cards because they don't have that much merit or value in duplicates. So this article will summarize each card's strengths and weaknesses to give you a better idea of what to expect, as well as help you choose which one to actually trade in for. So basically from December 12th to 31st, we will have the chance to, oh wait, no, it's for a whole year, never mind, it's till 2019, never mind. We will have the opportunity to actually Monster Exchange for any of these cards, but I wouldn't hold on to these for an entire year just because you tend to get the most value out of these cards as soon as they're released. That's when they're at their height of power creep. But of course, if you are planning to roll in Player's Choice Godfest, don't actually exchange for them. Just wait until you finish rolling, then Monster Exchange. You might roll them again in the future, but hopefully you've gained enough value out of them at this point in time. And with these trades, there is no undo option. So if you trade in for Valkyrie and roll a Valkyrie, you're going to be a little sad and awkward with 2 Valkyries. So speaking of Valkyrie, the first card is Valkyrie, and she is arguably the best of the 3, mostly because she has the strongest leadership potential and arguably the most powerful awakenings. So her active skill in either form is full bind recovery, and then you change hearts, jammer, poison, and mortal poisons into light orbs. And then her, well, that's an okay active skill. It's basically like a twist on normal Valkyrie. It's a heartbreak with hazard removal, and you get full bind recovery. And then her leader skill is healer type cards, 2 times health, 2 times attack, and then increase time limit of orb movement by 2 seconds. So you get plus 2 seconds orb movement time. And then all attribute cards, so all healer type cards, regardless of their color, receive 6 times damage when reaching 4 or more combos. With an additional 4 seconds between 2 leaders, that's 9 seconds of orb movement time. Hitting 4 combos should definitely not be an issue, and this is why she is, in my opinion, the best card for you to pick as a new player, because she's going to be doing so much more for you and making your life significantly easier because she's very easy to play. And her awakenings are actually quite powerful. In her evolved form, she has 2 7 combos, so that's 4 times personal damage, as well as God Killer and Dragon Killer. So these are huge amounts of personal damage out potentially. You can have up to 36 times attack versus God and Dragon type spawns if you hit 7 or more combos. So she's going to be pumping out amazing amounts of damage. And she is also able to utilize Dragon Killer Latent, so you can obviously crush dragon spawns even more efficiently. And another great aspect is that this leader skill, not only is it easy to actually play, because 4 combos should always be doable, but with 4 times health, you're actually incredibly durable. You are going to be having at least over 100,000 health of a fully maxed out team in solo mode. So assuming you're not tanking Goemon Alt Arena, you can survive basically any hit in the game, really. So this is going to make your life significantly easier playing through. And she's got the same, basically, multipliers on paper as Beach, Barbara, and Julie. 4 times health, 144 times attack, 2 seconds orb movement time. So you're kind of like Barbara, Julie, but the problem is being healer restricted does limit your options. And that's the biggest drawback of her. Her team building is incredibly restricted for endgame content because there's not many options for you. And it's like, you have ideal, yes or no. Do you have more ideals? Yes or no. It's kind of like that. So that is the main drawback. And her active skill is arguably kind of weak. Like a Heartbreak is probably the least helpful orb changer in the game, in my opinion, because you can't heal, you can't follow up attack. And then it only clears binds, not awoken binds. If it removed awoken binds, this would be so much stronger of a card, but I guess Gung-Ho had to kind of rein it in and keep her balanced, so to speak. So like I already mentioned, like she is going to be utilized mostly as a leader, especially for newer accounts, And basically just stick on any card you have. It'll carry you through the early game. But if you start transitioning into late game, you're going to be needing things like Light Cotton, Ideal, Yuna, and EIR to really form a solid team. Because if you don't have those cards, there's not many strong healers left available. And the only reason why EIR is included in this list is because she provides you with the enhanced Heal Orb Awakenings, which allows you to actually heal up when you take damage. These enhanced Heal Orb Awakenings are the reason why so many high health, low RCV teams, so to speak, are able to actually sustain themselves. You match a Heart TPA, you can heal for huge amounts of health, and the fact that healers naturally have high RCV, it'll be even easier to heal up all the way. So she is quite powerful, and I would honestly suggest trading in for her if you did not have anyone at this point in time, because she's a solid sub, because she can be used on things like Edward teams, Dark Metatron teams, Yusuke teams, like is a nice damage stick overall of high RCV and good stats as well at the same time. So powerful card all around, and that's who I'm going to be exchanging for unless I actually roll her in the Player's Choice Godfest if I decide to actually roll. Next is Zeus Giga, and Zeus Giga is for the most part going to be the least helpful card of all these, except for players who are really hardcore into specific farming builds. And the reason is because the farmable Zeus verse is kind of better than him in most ways. So Zeus Giga, his main saving grace, so to speak, is his active skill. He gives you a full health heal and a board change all to light. So you get huge amounts of swipe damage. It's also an idea like you get a full light board and you can use something like a Miru active skill, get those 7 light orbs, you get the VDP, you get some X number of combos. It can be something interesting, or you get the full light board, make 2 rows, you can form a 7 combo VDP box, that sort of idea. So it has applications in that idea, but in all honesty, it's like really situational. These are very specific farming builds that very few players are actually interested in. And his leader skill is, in all honesty, quite lacking. You have to be full health to receive 4 times damage, and then light cards get 4 times attack and 2 times recovery. So dual Zeus Gigas in theory is 16 times attack times 2, which is what, 256 maybe, and then 4 times recovery. But you have to be full health, so it's not that great, and you only can use light cards. Zeus Verse can use any kind of card, and as long as you're full health, you have 225 times. And Zeus Verse also has damaging awakenings. He has TPA's Devil Killer. Zeus Giga has just time extends, and I guess Light Rose in his other form. Not the greatest personal damage awakenings, not really personal damage awakenings overall. So he is really for those players who have everything already, and it's just going to open up new farming build potentials because you can't necessarily replicate a full heal and board change all at the same time. So not much applications for the average or even like modestly end game player. It's more so for the players who are hardcore farmers and have everything at this point in time. And then lastly, we come to Athena Non. So in my opinion, she has one of the stronger active skills because she makes dark to light and then water to heal, and then enhancing all orb types on a 7-turn cooldown. So if anyone remembers the Hero Pantheon cards, and remember when Pantheon cards used to be good, this was arguably one of the best active skills in the game because you get your primary orb, you get hard orbs, and now you get enhance on top of it. So incredibly powerful active skill overall in that sense, but of course breaking water doesn't help Yusuke teams, but you can be used on Edward. Her leader skill is God type cards, basically 1.5 times health and RCV and attack, so you have to be God type, so it's kind of like your Dark Metatron, and then you get bonus 2 seconds or movement time, and then all attribute cards get 6 times damage when reaching light and heart combos. So the light heart combo combination is a little awkward because, well, if you can't stall that efficiently because you're going to heal, you're probably going to be doing damage, and then you're just sweeping the floor. It's just a little awkward. Yes, you have 2.25 times health and recovery, but in this current day and age, 4 times health is stronger because we can solve healing problems with things like EIR, Mel, so on and so forth, of enhanced hard orb awakening. So just not as practical overall. Like, it's still strong. Like, Yusuke is still a great 2.25 times health recovery leader, but again, Yusuke's dealing more damage than Athena, like 225 times versus 9, only 81 times damage. This is really low. Like, it's just not high enough multiplier. So Athena Non is definitely a weaker leader overall compared to the Valkyrie, and sub potential is still there. She has incredibly high attack stat with double TPA and 7 combos, so in theory she can spike for huge amounts of damage. But the thing is, Valkyrie has higher effective damage against what are arguably the more popular spawns in the game, so I would still lean more heavily towards Valkyrie. If Valkyrie had this active skill, she'd be much stronger in my opinion, but unfortunately they gave this active skill to Athena. So, like, Athena is still there. She is still reasonably strong overall, but the fact that her team only has 81 times damage and you have to use god types and ideally be light means that you're basically playing a more restrictive Dark Metatron. Because she is taking Dark Orbs away, you can't even use it on Dark Metatron teams. You may not even use Dark Metatron as a sub. It's just going to be a little problematic overall, in my opinion. Like, it's just not as easy to build by comparison, because at least healers, there is a bit more clear-cut path, but light-based gods, it's a small pool as well, but they don't have as many desirable cards to actually draw upon. So, like, in conclusion, like, I honestly feel that Valkyrie is the way to go for the average player, assuming they don't already have a Valkyrie in their monster box. She's a well-rounded sub, high stats, modest active skill, strong leadership potential as well, and she's going to be probably the easiest leader to use, especially when you start out. If you're a beginner player, hitting 4 combos with 9+ seconds or movement time should be definitely doable. So, again, it's all up to personal preference. You should choose the one that you think is going to help yourself the most, but again, don't choose one of these cards until you've actually rolled in the Player's Choice Godfest, if you actually intend to do so. Let me know what you think about these cards in the comments below, as well as who you actually plan on exchanging for. Hopefully all have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.